Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Spark of Genius production, Flesh and Blood. We've got a very, very special video for everyone today. We have myself, Eric, and Rob McAuley, I'm a grading specialist, but he's graded a lot of stuff. And today we're going to be doing a bit of we've been asked to kind of go into the details about the BGS, specifically the grading process. We're going to be pre-grading a couple cards. We're going to be going through kind of what the scorecard looks like, if you should bother grading cards, what's the time frame, those kind of little details here or there, because I know when I started hearing all those like 9.5 like quads and 9.5 Bs and stand like all those random scores that I had no idea what I was doing. And it's pretty expensive to send cards in now. So Rob's going to be on your screen here with the Blossoming Spellblade mat, going through a couple of very shiny cards with us today. So Rob, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so we'll be showing you today what we're going to be grading, and we'll look at the corners, the edges, the surface, as well as the centering, and we'll get a good idea of what the grades would be. I won't go into too much detail about what each of the 4 grades will get, but we'll focus mostly on the corners as well as the centering. Those are the 2 big ones that we can notice a little easier with the naked eye, and Beckett will use their instrumentation as they see fit for the other 2. But yeah, let me start off with the first card that we are going to grade, and that is the
Rob. How many cards we got for today?
We've got 12 cards in total.
12 cards. All
the
right.
first card is a big hitter, probably one of the nicest ones we have, is the gold foil Storm Striders here.
The gold
Here's
foil
the surface.
Storm Striders. My God.
So centering on this one's pretty good. The front centering looks pretty much even on all four sides here. If I bring it a bit closer, let's see here, and then on the back, we'll look at the corners. We have really good corners, I believe. So this one actually has a good chance at getting a 9.5 quad, because centering is great, and the corners also. I haven't seen a single white feather actually on these corners.
Yeah, it looks really, really clean. Especially a lot of the times people like to go like under, not microscopes per se, but a little like magnifying glass and stuff like that to like really get into those. But a lot of the times corners are easier because of the color difference, right? I mean, the edge corner,
the white on black
corners will be white on.
It's a good thing that the borders are black on fab cards, because it's easier to see. But yeah, I think this one has a very solid chance at a 9.5.
Right.
Because corners are what they usually get you at. If you have one corner feather, you're looking at a potential 9.5 on corners. If you have 2 feathers, your chances are more on the 9 side. And then 3 and beyond, like just imagine that you're going to get an 8.5 on corners. It's that strict.
There.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
What exactly is a feather for those of us that are a little less initiated than yourself?
It's basically as small of a white dot as you can imagine, and it has to be on the edge of the corner, not on the main body. So it kind of has to look like kind of like a piece of paper that's kind of just like flicking off the edge a little bit, but like a really tiny piece. We call those feathers. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, we have the gold foil Mask of Momentum. Arguably a better one than the first one. Better than the Storm Striders.
Better than the Storm Striders, but like looking at the gold foil on the surfacing, I like the gold foil on the Striders themselves are like all through the actual art, like the actual foiling on the surface.
Yeah,
is much nicer in my opinion. But like the mask has the border.
It does blend in nicer. I agree.
Right, like the actual square outside of the boots, whereas the mask is like
Let's bring this a bit closer here.
Border.
Yeah, so the mask, very solid contender for a 9.5, I believe. Centering looks almost impeccable on the front.
That actually looks very clean.
And on the back, we actually don't have... I believe there is... Let me just take a quick look here. There is 1 feather on the bottom right corner, but that is almost like impossible to see. But you can kind of pick it up there.
I see it. It's very, very minute there.
So that's a feather for those of you who were wondering.
Little white dot.
So these 2, I believe, are very strong contenders for 9.5 quads. 9.5 basic would be fine too, but yeah.
Yeah. So what exactly is a 9.5 quad versus a 9.5 basic versus
good question?
9.5
yeah. So Beckett has 4 subgrades that they grade by. There were corners, edges, surface, and centering. Basically, to get a 9.5 overall grade, you need to have at least 3 of the grades be a 9.5 minimum. and one of the subgrades, or the lowest subgrade, cannot be 0.5 further than 9, cannot be more than 0.5 further, I should say, than 9.5. So a 9.5 basic is 3 9.5s, and then one of the grades gets a 9. That qualifies for 9.5, but it's a basic because it's not a true 9.5 with all 4 subgrades getting 9.5. We call a 9.5 quad that way because all 4 of the subgrades get 9.5.
Right.
And so if you have one category that's a bit weaker, you generally don't think it's going to get a quad because, like, if your corners get a 9, you have no shot at a 9.5 quad. But you do have a shot at getting a 9.5 basic. So that's true. Basically what a quad is, yeah.
Now looking at like a plus. So what does like the plus after it mean? So let's say you have like a 9.5 quad plus, right? So is that looking at like 2 10s and 2 9.5s? Because I know if you get 3 10s, you get the magical 10. But if you get 2 10s and 2 9.5s, what would that be considered?
Yeah, 2 10s and 2 9.5s would be a 9.5 quad because you have everything minimum 9.5. And then 2 subgrades are actually higher than 9.5. So you call that 9.5 quad plus plus in that case.
Yeah. So everyone who's wondering why there's like multiple pluses at the end of some of these grades is for every subgrade that's actually higher than the overall grade.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know that one until really late. I actually had no idea that's why it was. Because you can't have 3 above subgrades because then in that case you're on the next grade at that point, right? So
well, technically, if you get 3 10s and 1 9,
and a 9, yeah,
you get a 9.5 basic plus 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 at that point.
That is true.
And it's very unfortunate if that happens. That is a very sad moment.
I don't see too many of those, like 3 10s and a 9.
No.
I have not seen.
There are a few, and they're very feels bad, but it's so
bad.
rare. Yeah, just getting 10s in general is just rare in general, right?
All right, so we're moving on to the next cold foil.
This is a cold foil Teklo Foundry Heart, and excuse the scratching on the semi-rigid. I've had these in here for a long time, but let's look at the centering real quick. I believe this one has very good centering as well. A lot of these actually have very good centering. I probably wouldn't grade them, to be honest, if they didn't have at least decent centering.
Right.
But yeah, this one has a very good shot at a 9.5 quad as well. Let's look at the back.
So why do you think centering is so important in a lot of these cards?
It's mostly for aesthetic reasons, and it usually only matters for the front of the card. The back is not so important when it comes to centering.
Right, because you're not going to be staring at the back when it's
well, when it's in the slab, you don't really care too much about the back. But let's look at the bottom here. There is one.
Got a feather down there.
There's one feather on the bottom left. So
that's not that small. That's like a noticeable feather.
It's a little bigger, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there's a chance at 9.5.
Is that the only feather on there?
Yeah, it's the only one, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I think it could get 9.5. I think 9 to 9.5 is probably... But I think it doesn't look so big that alone gets a 9. But again, I'm not a Beckett grader, clearly.
I mean, the shard that I got a graded 10 had one corner that was actually worse than this one. And it had a 9.5 corners. So there's a shot, I think, at 9.5.
Based on precedence, right?
And there's only one corner that's white, so it's like...
Yeah.
You know. All right, here we have the cold foil grasp of the Arc Knight.
Yes.
Let's zoom in a little bit on that.
Another Arc special.
Again, scratchy semi-rigid, so apologize for that.
Ignore the semi-rigids, folks.
Yeah, these scratches are not on the card. I can guarantee you that.
I would hope not.
So centering looks really good.
Yeah.
Let's look at the corners here real quick. Let me see if I can zoom in up here so I can look on the camera with you guys. Come on. Okay. Top left corner looks great. Top right corner is a small...
Yeah, I can see a small
There's a feather. There's a feather up there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bottom. We've got... Come on. Focus.
So you want to tell me why there's a bunch of these tabs in these little cards? Is there a particular reason for that?
Yeah, those are mostly for that when I submit it to Beckett, that they don't take... There's no risk that they damage the cards pulling it out. You don't want them kind of going into your semi-rigid and kind of messing around in there and pulling the card out badly. So you put the tab in there so that they can kind of just go here and just pull the whole thing out. I won't do it here, but you can pull the whole thing out with the tab. So it just kind of removes the risk of human error on their side. So you want to be as diligent as you can with the cards.
Yeah.
So looking myself on the bottom corners, I know I didn't focus that well, but there's nothing on those corners. So I have a strong suspicion that this has a shot at a 9.5 corners. So and when you see corners and centering that are 9.5, you have a good chance that the whole thing will get a 9.5. because it's rare to get damage. I mean, edge wear is kind of easy to see, and
Yeah.
surface is kind of, you got to go through the whole thing with a light and make sure that everything's okay. So you really want to look out for
mainly like scratches and stuff like that. I assume.
scratches and like indents. If like a dice hits it or something, that'll cause like an indent.
That'd be
But
brutal.
mostly scratches. Yeah, yeah, that's a little rare to see. People played with these though, so it's maybe not that uncommon. So here we have some Storm Striders.
Those are the
Cold
cold
foil, not the gold foil.
To go with the gold foil, you have a cold foil.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's raw
This
sneaker
one-
cabinet.
This one might be a little OC on the left to right axis. I see the right border seems a bit
The
thinner.
right looks thin. The right definitely looks thin. compared
It's
to
not
the
as
left.
thin as it looks. I think it's just the lighting, but here you go. It's a better idea here. So
Yeah, I still would definitely call that off.
it's a little OC.
I mean, not like crazy off center,
Yeah.
but
I think you can get a 9 with that centering.
yeah,
Just not a 9.
I would agree with the 9 there, but I think a 9.5
Yeah.
is a bit of a stretch because it's pretty
Okay.
obviously off.
So top left corner, there is a small feather. Come on.
Yeah, you see it right there in
Yeah.
the zoom there.
Let's
Yeah,
look on
that's yeah, it looks like another feather in the top left there too. Top left, top right.
Top left for sure. Let me check the right here. Yeah, the right as well. Yeah, you've got feathers in top left, top right. On the bottom, we actually
Fly
have...
away, little bird.
There's there's one little feather there. So this is
you got
it's
3 feathers.
contention for 9, but I wouldn't hold my hopes up. It would probably be an 8.5 at that point.
Yeah.
But we'll see when they come back. Oh, and everyone who is watching, we are going to make this a 2-parter, or rather 2-parter for us, 1-parter for you guys. So we will show the grades in the same video as they come back to us. So we'll be able to compare, within like however much time it takes for the video to see our guesses and then what BGS actually gives us. So that'll be exciting. Moving right
That'll be
along,
nice.
we've got
Our score and their score. Okay, so we've
Exactly.
got the cross wrap.
We've
We're
got
just
the
going
cross
through
wrap.
We're going through the Archipalooza right now.
Yeah, exactly. The Archipalooza. So centering looks pretty good on this one. Yeah, looks almost like a 10 worthy. At the back, we've got
Looks like a dot in top left.
top left. Let's see. Oh. If
Could
only
be a
it would
little
center,
tricky.
or if only it would focus every time I do this. Come on.
Cameras are a little awkward. here.
Yeah.
Oh, there
No,
you
I think there's nothing there. I did something bottom
Nothing.
left though. So bottom left, 1 feather. As far as I could tell. I
I'll
have to
take
take
your
my
word
word for
Oh, I
it.
see it now.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
it now.
It came
It's
into
a bit of a
focus
dark
very
gray.
briefly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a tiny dot. Okay. Anyway, that one, good chance at a 9.5. This one though, there were some print lines on the foiling. I can't really show it within the
Then you would have to take them out. No, okay. I'll take your word for it.
but
Yeah,
I would
Pinline
say
is not-
I'm gonna guess 9 for this one. I think
Okay, that's fair.
the skull cap,
Oh,
cold foil
maybe.
skull cap. So this one has great centering as well. Maybe a little bottom heavy. By bottom heavy, I mean the border on the bottom is a little thicker than the one at the top.
Yep.
But I think still within 9.5 range here.
Yep.
And
That was
this one I remember has feathers, or actually has 3 feathers. We've got 3 feathers, and the bottom corner almost has like a bit of a bigger chip. So let me just show you the bottom right corner here. If you can see that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's more than a feather. It's almost like it's going into the card.
Yeah, it's not like it's like the whole. It's like a line in the car essentially. That's
Yeah, feathers are more like outwardly,
Yeah.
kind of like a piece of paper that's kind of coming off. But the
Right.
the V's, as we call them, are the ones that go into the card. So those are the
Yeah.
worst ones. So I would say corners 8.5 maximum for this. So 9 basic at best, I think, or with a few pluses maybe. But 9 basic overall is pretty much
Yep.
what I expect. So here
Fair
we
enough.
have the Brave Forge Bracers Alpha, cold foil.
Old
Let's
foil.
look at the
welcome to
centering.
Brave.
So centering, from what I can tell, looks pretty good as well. I believe it might have the same problem as what was it? Was it the grasp that was a bit off center to the right?
Yeah. I
Um,
think it's slightly less off centered though. I think the other one was more noticeable.
Yeah. Still, I
But-
think 9.5 possibly.
It's possible. It's possible.
You never
Again,
really
9.9.
know. You never really know until you get the grades back,
Get
which is
mark-
kind of the
until
fun.
they get the little measuring,
It's,
the little device they got there.
That's the fun of it. Yeah. Oh wow, this has actually okay, it has 1 tiny feather on the bottom left. I just wish it would. Oops. Um,
Come on, camera, you can do it.
there we go. It's super minute though. Like you might not even be able to pick it up on camera.
No, not particularly. I
No,
see like the edge of it, but
I
like it's kind of
can
like you told me one, so I'm looking for one. I don't know if I would be able to spot it
I can barely
based
make it
on
out
that.
on camera. There we
Right.
go.
Okay. So we're looking at
It's
least probably 9.5 corners with
yeah,
that.
I would say so. So 9.5 pretty much would be my
Yeah.
confident guess on this one. It's really nice.
Yeah. It could be like a 9.5 B plus or something.
Here we have
We spot if
the
we're lucky.
scab
Ooh,
skin
the
leathers.
leathers.
Yeah, this one again, same idea. A bit off centered left to right, I would say. Like a little heavy on the right, or rather the left border.
The left. Yeah, it's a little bit thin on the right.
Yeah, but I think it looks great so far. Let's look at the
Certainly
corners.
good.
Corners. Oh, here's a great example of a V. Let me see if I can show that corner.
A great example, but not a great thing.
No, I don't want to see them. Actually, I know my tunic has a really big V in it, so
Oh
let's
no.
see if this focuses. Oh, there we go. So you can
Oh, yeah,
see
there it is.
it kind of goes into the card a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
I see
that
the
one
red there.
I would say 9 maximum on this one here.
I
On the
think you got
corners that is.
I
But
think you give them like a 9 on the card, probably. I'm guessing.
yeah, maybe 9 or 9.5 overall, but corners for sure
Yeah.
had a 9 max.
A 9.5
Here's
basic.
a cold
Just the
foil
max.
Mask of Momentum, not gold
To go
foil,
with your gold
but
foil, yes.
yeah. Looks a bit heavy on the right again. I think a lot of these have that.
All the Welcome to Wraith cards are having a little offsetting
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, let's look at the corners. I'll just
Yeah,
take
you
a
can
quick
also
look
tell
here.
by like on the front in the corners
Oh.
of it. Very noticeable.
Let's show you this corner down here.
Oh
You can
god.
see that's a V, or it's almost like a piece was like chewed off.
I was about to say, is like someone bite that card?
Yeah.
That looks like a Hellcat corner.
Yeah, so again, I don't think this is going to be a 9.5. Probably get a 9.
Yeah.
But 9s are fine, you know. You want the 9.5s, but 9 is fine.
Yeah. I mean 9 is kind of I guess that's probably a good segue to go. Like what is like the lowest grade you think for these kinds of cards, the cold foils and gold foil legendaries from like the first 2 sets anyways, that is worth kind of sending into Beckett, because right now the
Yeah.
cost is $300 US a card.
250 US.
250 plus
And
shipping,
you add
right?
shipping and insurance. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think pretty much anything here is worth sending, even for a 9.
Mhm.
You obviously hope for the 9.5. Like if there's something obvious that would get you an 8.5, I probably wouldn't send it in. But I mean, the thing is, if you are someone who's looking to sell these cards, getting
Yeah.
them graded gives a lot of assurance to the buyer, because they
buyer's
know that it was graded exactly. They'll know that there's nothing really wrong with the card. It just has, you know, rough corners, so BGS gave it an 8.5. But I think grading is better for selling overall, because selling raw is not that easy,
Right.
especially for these cards. So I would say, since these are all worth at least like 1.5 to 2K minimum, I would grade them for 250. But
Right.
if you're not in a rush, if you're not trying to sell them, you can wait, right? Like they would open up eventually. You know, they're lower service levels. So if you're not in a big hurry, I would keep them. I just really want to, because the rush, and it's just fun, you know. But
the addiction is real.
but is it worth it? I would say if you can wait. But value wise, it is worth it for sure. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So here we have a almost near. Okay, I can see the top is a bit thicker.
It's a little top thick, but the left right is good. So this is like the first Welcome to Wraith card that I think we've seen that doesn't have any left to right off centering, which is
So
interesting.
let me show you some. Let me show you a big V.
Oh, I see
Bottom
a V
right.
on the top right there, and the bottom right.
The bottom right is the bigger one.
That's
It's almost like a chunk was taken out of it, and I pulled it this way.
Yeah.
It came out of the pack this way, so
that's
really
depressive.
sad.
All right.
Top right is a little bit.
I saw that top right immediately as you were flipping the card over.
Yeah, top right, a little bit of a feather, but it's
Yeah, the right side of the card is just
the whole right side
I
is
guess
just like
the left side.
chomp,
the right
chomp.
side inverted, but the left side of the
Yeah.
actual card, I guess.
So I definitely expect a 9 on that. I won't even. I'm not even gonna argue a 9.5. 8.5 corners maximum. It might even go to the 8.5 category overall. But all right, we got one more card for you guys, and you can probably guess
Card
what it
number
is.
12,
It is the
plating.
cold foil plating. So this one
Yes,
a
sir.
very beautiful card, and I think this one centering wise is pretty perfect. I can't really see any edge that's thicker than the other ones. So
looks good from this angle.
Yeah.
Probably solid off-centering on that one. Oh, sorry, solid centering on that
solid off-centering. The thing is, when you're grading, you either want it to be perfect centering or so off-centered that they actually label it OC.
That you actually get them to admit that it's just super stupidly off-center.
They'll still grade it like well, but then mark on the card that it's OC, which means off-center.
Yeah. There's your feather on the bottom right
there. Yeah, a little worse than a feather, but
it's definitely more of a V coming.
Yeah.
But that shame. A lot of these.
That's the only one I think.
Sorry, a lot of these alpha cards, even pulling them, a lot of them just happen to have these corner dings coming out of them, and so which makes 9.5 plus very desirable because especially for Welcome to Wraith, even Arcane for that matter, these cards just didn't come out well. Like I don't know why, but like I haven't a lot of the cold foils that I pulled. Commons, legendaries, whatever. It just came out really poor for some reason on average. And so I think the premium on the 9.5s for the first 8
makes sense, right?
I guess the first 10. Yeah. But Skullcap and Tunic are quite high, with obviously Tunic and Skullcap being the highest.
Yeah. And I will add one point that if you have a CNC, that's rainbow foil first ed, if you have a chance at a 9.5, grade it, because there are currently no 9.5s in existence for that card.
Wow. Just in general, 9.5Bs, just 9.5s in general?
Just 9 is the highest.
I know there's E-strikes. I know there's E-strikes at 9.5.
There are, yeah. I think Mac from the Facebook group, he has at least one. And I've seen them floating around a bit. So, but the CNC just notorious for having bad corners. So that whole sheet was kind of messed up.
Interesting.
So
well, there you go.
There we have it. Yeah. So we will come back to you shortly with the actual grades, and we will see how well we did in estimating. Yeah. Awesome. So
appreciate everyone watching the first part of this. Stay tuned for the reveal coming up.
Hopefully very shortly.
Hopefully very short. I mean, you're paying for the most expensive, which is the only one available. So hopefully it actually comes back quickly. Customs can be a little annoying sometimes. So let's hope sails through.
All right. See you shortly. Bye.
See you shortly.
2,000 years later.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. We are back here with the slabs from BGS. It's a nice thick stack here.
Shivers.
This took about 2 weeks to get back to us. So we didn't have any issues with the customs, thank goodness, but because of the weather we experienced here in Canada, or Ontario more specifically, FedEx took a few more days to deliver the package, so we finally got it here, 12 cards, and I've got all the pre-grades in front of me here. So as we go through each card, I will reference what we pre-graded the card as, and hopefully we were correct in our assessment, but if we're not, hey, please overgrade us. No, I'm just kidding. we want to have accurate grades, right? So let's hope we got what we expected. And also I want to shout out the first part of the video had a bit of a camera lag situation going, so we're sorry for that. We have fixed it for this part of the video, which I think is the most important part of the video. So hopefully you can see these as clear as day. Let me start opening this package.
While you open that, I just want to call out a couple of the big hitters. We're hoping the gold foil Striders. We just changed it from a 9.5 quad to a 9 on the edges. And oh god, that bubble wrap is a little bit orgasmic. Okay. And then we have the gold foil mask is the 9.5 quad. And the cold foil grasp is the 9.5 quad. Those are the big ones we're expecting. Very high premiums on 9.5 quads, as we kind of explained a little bit earlier. Very, very difficult grade to get. The only better grade than that really is 10. Or like I guess a 10, 10, 9.5, 9.5 in some grades.
I'm hoping that the top of the card is not... That's the top. Oh no.
Okay, so you got to flip it over.
Let me just take... Oh no, we saw something. We won't know which one it is. Let me move them off camera. Just to shield your eyes. Okay, we'll start from this stack.
So you can Beckett shield my eyes.
Okay, I'm starting with the puns already.
I'll stop.
So let me just take this out of the sleeve. And I'm just going to flip it over. Hopefully my fingers cover... Actually, I'm going to use my other hand here to cover the top part. And
100% hype.
Okay, coming in here. Okay, we've got
cold foil.
a cold foil Teklo Foundry heart. So for this one, we had said 9.5 basic, because the corners seemed to be like they would have been a 9. I think it had 2 feathers or something like that. So let's look at the back. Not really sure if I should do it now, but maybe we can look after we see the grade so I could have my full hand.
Maybe do that. Yeah, maybe
let's do the grade first, and I'll show the corners after. And for the Foundry Heart, we got... Oh, wow. Dude, look at this. It's 9.5 quad plus plus.
Oh,
that is 1 subgrade away from a 10.
I can't believe you were almost going to get double 10s.
That is almost a 10.
Ridiculous.
Wow, so we expected 9.5, what did we say, basic? What did I say?
9.5B,
I said basic.
basic.
Okay, so let's look at the corners here real quick. Top left, that is... Okay, I'll just put it like this, yeah. Top left, and I think top right are really clean. Let's go with the bottom.
Yeah, I think it was the bottom.
So the bottom
left.
Were we just very conservative with this? It's only one little white speck, actually. So
I
think 9.5.
Thought it would get 9.5 corners. I thought it would get 9.5 corners.
Okay,
that's just
that is
very small speck there.
That's a huge start. That is way better than I thought he would get. 9.5 quad plus plus. That is amazing.
Before, put everyone who wants to buy, put their offers in the. I'm just kidding. Don't put there's enough. Don't put this.
Okay, I'm not looking. Card number 2. We've got cold foil Brayforge bracers.
We're already starting in super hot.
I'm hoping it won't be like downhill from. It's probably all downhill from here because that is amazing. I can't believe we almost got a 10 on that. Holy cow!
Bracers.
Okay, bracers. We said 9.5B again. So we said 9 centering for this one. So the corners were apparently really good. I'm gonna move these scissors out of the way.
9.5B.
Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, 9.5B. They gave a 10 on centering for this.
Are we really
off.
harsh or what?
Maybe we're just over. No, but what? Okay, let's look at this again. So I'm just gonna cross out. What did we say? We got the Teklo Heart.
Teklo was 9.5 plus plus.
Teklo, where Teklo? Here we go. I just want to make sure I cross these out so it's easier to see. So Brayforge bracers. We said 9.5 basic. So we were correct about the 9.5 basic, but they gave a 9 for corners. So centering. Oh, I guess maybe we were too harsh in the centering here. Front centering looks.
I thought it was the back centering that was.
It might have been back, but the back centering actually doesn't matter too much when it comes to. Yeah, the back's a little OC, I think. Maybe not. Maybe they're correct.
I thought it was
but let's look at the corners because that's what they gave a 9 for. So let me see if I can focus this properly. So top left and top right look pretty perfect to me. I don't see any whitening, and at the bottom.
Yeah, there's
okay.
Right there in the bottom left.
Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just the bottom left.
It doesn't. It honestly doesn't seem that much bigger than the 9.5 corners on the Teklo.
There's nothing. This one has a corner flip though. Bottom right.
Yeah.
Seems to be flipping a bit up. So maybe that was it. So overall, I mean, a 9.5 we can't really complain about. We were correct in the grade, just not on the subcategory. So
this is why you have to buy subcategories.
Kind of random.
You never know.
Oh, whenever you grade, you always buy subcategories. Yes, you do not cheap out on. Because it's like $100 cheaper if you go without subcategories. You gotta have the subgrades. All right.
Sure.
Number 3. What do we have? We have the gold foil Mask of Moment. This is the gold foil.
Are you sure you don't want to save that till last?
Should I? I already have it in my hand. This is
okay. I'm just. All right. So this one
we said quad on this one. This one had really clean corners.
Quad.
Oh god. Ready? 9.5 basic. Plus. So the corners. That's
like literally one off from the quad.
It is.
It's pretty close.
I mean, yeah, it's always one off from the basic to quad. Not to point out the obvious.
Well, it'd be a quad plus though.
This would be a quad plus. Exactly. Yes, you're right. So, you're right. Yeah. So 9 corners. Okay. So let's see what corner they dinged us on. So I'm seeing like something super tiny down on the bottom right. You can probably pick that up.
I see.
And I think we might have missed the feather up here, top left. Let's see if I can get that in focus. It's like so
That's so
minor.
minuscule.
It's so minor.
Oh man. I think
But
you really need like one of those expand. You know those not the
wow.
microscope, but you know the little circles like the like when
A
jewelers
loop.
have.
A loop.
They're like
Jeweler's
yeah
loop.
they like look they little go real. Look at that diamond
Okay.
incrustation.
So I
Yeah.
think we were only correct on one of these subgrades, on one of these categories. I mean, one of these cards. So we're one for
However,
three right now.
the main grade is correct. So at least we're not like super
That's
off.
true.
It's not
That's
like
true.
any of these were nines, right?
That is very
So
true. Oh, speaking of which, we have the cold foil Mask of Momentum. Save
makes
the second best for last. The worst for last. Okay. This one we said would get a 9 basic.
nine basic.
We were pretty harsh on this one. I think we said 9.5 corners. I think 3 corners had feathers.
Oh,
so...
you mean 8.5 on corners.
Did I say 9.5? 8.5 on
Yeah.
corners.
9.5 on corners would be the best we have yet on corners for a mask.
8.5 corners. Yeah,
Looking for a 9.
nine basic.
9.5B would be a 9.5B would be nice.
I'd be happy with that. Let's see what we get. Oh, a gold label.
Oh,
Oh wow, this is actually a
that?
9.5 basic plus plus. You called it.
okay. I was slightly more correct than our pre-grade. I'm not going to say I was correct, but I was slightly more correct.
Has Beckett gone like soft on us? What the heck is with these high grades? They gave
Maybe we
10
should,
edges, 10 surface. Just submit more right now. So wait, 9 corners. Okay.
Interesting.
So let's see. I think there's a white speck top left. You can see
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
a little
That's a
something.
pretty obvious spec. Yeah.
Top right is good.
Top right.
Oh, look at that bottom left
bottom.
though. We were really worried about that bottom left corner. Actually, look at that. Let's see.
That's
Go
such
even.
an odd- that's
That
a
is
big corner.
that is a big corner ding. It's not a feather. And look at the bottom right
There's
too.
one there.
This
There's
has
one- so
3
three
corner
corners.
dings, and one of them was pretty big. So I
And they
kind of
gave a
disagree
9
with
for
the 9.
corners?
They gave a 9. I mean, this gold foil got a 9, and it's like way better.
I think there's a little bit of inconsistency on the masks, and you know
Oh,
what?
look at this.
Kind of,
Across the board.
it kind of goes to show that even though Beckett only has one tier available, I still think they are swamped enough to not be as consistent as I think they could be on some of these grades.
Yeah,
However-
that's a bit rough. I think this mask, the gold one, deserved a 9.5 corners.
I think so.
If this one got a 9. Like, I'd be happy
Yeah.
with the one that we graded, the cold foil one, getting maybe an 8.5 on corners, going down to a 9.
Mm-hmm.
But the gold foil should have gone up to a 9.5, I think.
I think so.
Here we have, well, I'm not going to complain about that, I guess. We have
Grasp.
cold foil grasp, and that one I think we have it as a 9.5 quad on our sheet.
Yep.
So let's
Another big guy.
watch this be like a 9 basic now. Ready?
Quad.
9.5. Okay, the purest basic
Basic.
you can get.
Yeah, that is you can't
That-
get more
this
9.5
is
basic than a
As
9.5 basic.
basic as you can get. Yeah. But wow, another 9.5. That we are just hitting
We're doing
gold
pretty good.
today. I mean,
We are.
yeah, holy cow. So this one got a 9 for corners. Let's see how these corners compare then with as a 9. So this one had perfect corners if I remember correctly. Oh no, top right has lightning. Top right
Top
has
definitely something.
looks like more like a feather, I guess. Yeah. That's quite
Yeah.
big actually. That one okay.
That's very
So you know what?
noticeable,
If maybe if we had seen that better in the previous part of the video, we would have given this a 9 corners as well, I think.
I think
It
so.
might have looked better when we first took a look at this card outside of the anyway, it was within
Yeah,
the
that's-
semi-rigid, so it might have been hard to see. But
Yeah.
wow.
I think that's quite clear when you bring it up.
Wow.
in that
Okay.
lighting.
Yeah.
5 down, 7 to go.
5 down. You are right. We've got the scab skin leathers cold foil.
Baby.
So this one, I think we were
leathers.
pretty. We said 9 quad for that one. So nothing in the
9 quad.
8.5 range, but we thought maybe 2 of these categories would be 9s. I think mainly centering was going to be a 9 and corners probably. So let's see what we got for this bad boy. Can we keep the gold streak going? It is a 9. It's a basic.
Unfortunately,
They did give the 8.5 on the corners there. Those are
But
really
the
good
rest of
grades.
it- yeah, the rest of it is super clean. 8.5 corners.
it's
Okay, so
okay.
let's check out
It's
check
okay.
out the corners.
Oh yeah, okay. I agree. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, that's 8.5.
That's 8.5 just right away. So I guess we were a bit too generous with our 9, but I think that's the only. Oh no, bottom right has a
Oh, the bottom right,
small
yeah.
feather there, but
I think
Okay.
the top left was just too.
It was just too bad on
noticeable.
its own. Yeah.
Like you don't
Yeah.
even have to lift it to the camera. Just like put it like halfway
It can
to
be
the
like
camera.
here.
I can see
Oh,
it from
you
there.
can see it clearly. Yeah, even from
I
here.
can see it from space.
Okay. Well, this broke
That
the streak, unfortunately, but we did guess a 9 for that. We guessed a 9 quad. It was a 9 basic. Okay.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Oop.
We're halfway there.
I almost saw another grade. Gotta keep this.
Halfway to Nirvana. Ooh,
Oh, we've got okay. The tunic. So this was the problem card of the set. I remember. We had given
the
this
problem child.
The problem child. Yeah. We had given this. So the corners were so bad that I think I dropped the grade from 8.5 corners to 8 corners. All 4 corners had whitening, and one of them was like severely like just off the charts bad. So I think this is an 8.5 overall basic because the corners would get an 8. But
Right.
let's see what we got. Watch this be a 10.
No.
We got a 9. So
Oh, I got a 9.
so they gave 8.5 on corners here, similar to the scab skins. Now I'm just gonna show you guys again all the corners. So we have top left feather, top right a bit more than a feather,
Yeah.
bottom left.
I guess the bottom left's not as bad.
Maybe we just didn't notice. There's nothing on bottom left. Okay, maybe that's why. But look at this corner. You can probably
That
see
one's
it.
big.
Look at
Oh,
that one.
one's big.
That
That's a
is
chip.
huge. I thought that would be an 8 for sure, but I think maybe I assumed there were all 4 corners had something, but this one apparently is
guess so.
okay.
I
Well,
guess I gotta
I am
myself
happy
a
with a 9. I think any slab that's I'll put it here, that's 9 or above is great. I think 8.5 just kind of kills the set because 8.5 is still kind of rare to get for like near mint cards. So it's like if you have, and plus like this is my whole set, right? So if I had one of them that was 8.5, I'd be like, oh, should I sell it to get another one that's a 9? Kind of ruins it a bit. But got a 9, very
Expensive
happy.
hobby.
Okay, here is the tectonic plating. Yeah, expensive hobby. You can say that again. Just the submission was like. Anyway, this one had scratches at the back. I couldn't show it in the semi-rigid, but I was willing to drop this one down because of the surface grade. What did we say for this one? Plating, I said 9 basic because of an 8.5 on surface. So this one, if you look at the top edge, there are like these lines coming down on it. It's almost like a little pavement scrape went along the back to the top edge. So I don't know if they noticed it, but we'll see what we get. 9 basic was the guess. 9 basic.
9 basic.
No, 9 quad
No.
plus. I'm sorry. So they gave they gave surface 9.5. Okay, let me see if I can show in the light. But even here, it's very noticeable to me. So you can probably see them inside. Oh gosh, it's hard to differentiate between what's the case and what's the card. Actually,
Yeah.
it might not be very visible, but it's on the black of the card, and you can kind of, if you look at the center of the top edge, there are a few lines there.
It is very
vertical.
hard to see.
Yeah, I might have to. Well, I guess BGS didn't think they were that bad, so I'm happy with this. Very happy with that. 9 quad.
Not bad. No, quad plus.
9 quad plus. You're right. I will take
Don't
it.
forget the pluses. The
Yeah, I know.
pluses are the dollars.
9 quad $. Okay. Next we have the Arcanite Skull Cap. This one also had bad corners, if I remember correctly. The Skull Cap we put at 9 basic because 8.5 corners. This one I remember had I think 4 corners were bad or something.
But given like what we remember, it might be kind of like the tunic where it was like maybe 3 bad corners because we.
Do you want to say
like
9
one
quad?
really bad.
Do you want to say 9 quad now?
If that's 9 quad, I'm sending mine tomorrow.
Let's see what we get. It's not 8.5. It's a 9. 8.5 corners. So
8.5
this is
corners,
actually everything else got 9.5. Just the corners got 8.5. So we were spot on. 9 basic for that guy. I think that's deserved. Let's look at the corners again. So let's see. Top left is a feather. Top right, another feather. Bottom left, feather. And bottom right, a chunk.
That's the bigger one.
That's the chunk.
That chunk, like 8.5. It's gotta be 8.5.
8.5, yeah. That is okay. It's so sad. The 2 best cards of the set, of each of their sets, both got the 9s. But hey, with all these 9.5s, I cannot complain about that.
that Tekla foundry. Oh my good god. It's still looking at me in the eye.
That was so close to a 10.
Can you imagine?
If I got a 10? There might still be a 10 in
You
here.
would, you would play with it. Legit.
I would. Storm
Ooh, is that the gold
Striders.
foil?
No, this
Or
is
the
the
gold foil?
this is cold foil. Yeah, not the gold.
Okay,
The
so
gold
that's
the
the
gold's
gold
still
foil.
in there in the pile.
Okay.
So for these
Gold
cold
foil.
foil leathers, Storm Striders, sorry,
Striders.
we said 9
9
basic because it's 8.5 corners.
Yeah.
We'll see if we were right. We got a 9 on corners. Okay. So I think
Okay,
overall
well-
we're a little too harsh on our grades. But
Overall, but like for the tunic and the skull cap, we were pretty accurate, I would say.
yeah,
Oh,
Beckett,
there's a big chunk.
it's a
right
big
on top
chunk up
left.
there. Top right, I think it's a feather, right? You can see that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's a feather. Yeah, it's a feather.
Bottom left, we've got a feather.
Bottom right's
And
clean though.
that's it. Okay, this is a similar story to the tunic, I believe. Oh no, but it
That
got
kind of makes
8.5.
sense. That kind of
Yeah.
makes sense as a 9.
Yeah, maybe we were a bit
Because I think
strict.
the chunk looks the same, but the other two look a little bit less severe on the Striders compared to the tunic.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. Well, at least our main grades are correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we been like off on a main grade yet?
We might have been. It might have been the masculine momentum, I think. Cold foil. We said 9 basic because of 8.5 corners. We ended up getting a 9 on the corners, which bumped the whole thing up to a 9.5
9.5.
basic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we were wrong on that
We're
one. But,
only one though.
only one off. Yeah, that's true. All right. We got 2 cards left. This
Cross
is
wrap,
the
okay.
cold foil cross wrap. Okay. So this one had print lines going vertically on the foil when I pulled it. So because of that, I don't know how strict BGS is with print lines because I've never really had this issue before. But I think we kind of gave them, or rather we were a bit more strict on the surface. So the cross wrap, we said 9 basic for 8.5 surface. So we'll see what they gave us. Gold. 9.5 basic.
Wow.
Okay. So it's going to be really hard to see through the case for sure. But there were like some pretty big lines just going down. And there were at least like 4 of them.
9.5 on surface.
And they gave 9.5 on the surface. So maybe they just didn't notice. I guess it could be easy to miss if you're not really looking. But I mean, that's their job. They got to look. So I don't know what's going on.
I think I can see parts of it in the light there. I don't know.
It might be the case. Yeah,
It
if
might
you're
be,
looking at this kind of streak going down.
No, not that. That's the
Okay.
case. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like when you shined it there.
Yeah. I'm gonna say we can't really see it, but what they give on corners? They gave a 9 corners. Okay, so let's see what we got. Yeah, I mean I'm okay with that. I think this one had very good corners though, so maybe that was a bit too strict. I don't see anything top left and top right. Seems good.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it says like perfect corners. Maybe a
Well, it can't be
tiny
perfect. Top bottom left.
bottom left is like a tiny thing.
Yeah.
And they
I
gave
don't
that a
think it's
9.
That tiny.
You don't think so?
No, I think there's a bit of a flick on the bottom right also.
You're saying bottom left, right? Oh, bottom right?
Well, bottom left there's a
feather?
white dot, and then on the right it looks like a flipped edge.
Might be. I don't really know how they treat flipped edges, to be honest, because a lot of the newer cards have flipped edges. So maybe that's a
my
new
guess.
concern. But 9.5.
man.
So we were wrong in the wrong direction. We were too strict, and they gave us 2 9.5. So these two,
True.
we guessed
I'd rather-
9s for these.
I'd rather be too strict than too lenient.
Me
though,
too. I
especially
don't
with
I don't want to
something
get
cost per card.
my hopes up exactly. And last but not least, this should be
The gold foil
the
Striders.
gold foil Striders. Let's hopefully it comes in gold. The saddest thing is to send a gold foil and it comes back with silver.
That's
All
true.
right, gold foil
Doesn't make any
Striders.
sense.
So for
Oh,
this
man,
one,
with the 9.5
see,
quad.
gold with this gold would look so good. But
9.5
this one
Yeah,
we
9.5
did
quad.
say 9.5 quad, but upon further inspection, the bottom edge. Oop, don't know if you saw the color of that, but the
No.
bottom edge had a bit of white, or it was like almost like a bit of a flip. So I dropped it to a 9 on edges. So hoping for a 9.5 basic. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
9.5 basic.
9.5. Wow,
but it's corners though. Again,
it's not the edges, it's the corners.
it's not the edges.
But it's still a 9. It's still a 9.5 for a gold foil.
Oh yeah, no, I am very happy with gold. Let's see the bottom edge, because I think that's, if you look under the shield area there, where the block is.
I see what you mean.
It might be a
super
bit
minor though.
It's very minor, but you can see it's kind of like not even. It's kind of like a bit like rocky. Maybe we can see on the back. No, the back looks cool. Oh, maybe the back actually. So back right. Oh, it's really hard to see. I might have been too picky on this, but it's like not very straight. It's like there's like some
open your own grading.
Yeah, I'll be the strictest RPG. Rob's picky grading.
Exactly. You get it.
Yeah, Canada's premier grading service. Wow, that concludes it. Okay, so overall the golds, very happy about these. 9.5 basic. Sorry, yes, basic for both of them, and the tunic has a plus in centering, which is awesome.
Pretty good.
So these are the big hitters. I was very pleased with the Foundry Heart. I mean, that almost got a 10.
Yeah, 9.5.
It was a
plus, right?
9.5 plus plus. One more grade, and we would have got 9.5 quad. I should say plus plus.
Oh, 9.5 quad plus. True. Because it could have had a 9 in one of those 9.5s
and still be a 9.5. Exactly. So this is the winner of today. Almost got a 10.
I can't believe it was so close. Oh my god, it's hurting me a little bit.
I mean, considering we got 7 out of 12 hit the 9.5, so that is amazing.
Including the gold foils is true. I think
overall this is excellent.
At the end, we understood. I think sending in the skull cap and the tunic, and we understood that they.
Yeah, we were correct on these ones exactly. Even we dropped it to 8.5 because we weren't sure, but we're always like more pessimistic when grading. It hurts more to be optimistic because you just never know. And then when you're pessimistic, it comes back better, and you're like, awesome, you know.
Exactly. So it's a little bit higher, and also those are two of the most valuable legendaries in the sets, right? So even if they come back 9s, they're still. It's nice to know it's a 9 and not have them raw. So it's nice to have them in the case.
Yeah, and like I said, if you do plan on selling cards, getting them in the case is always better for the buyer because at least they know what they're getting into. So you get more more confidence when you're selling stuff. So okay.
Yeah. So overall, do you think it was worth the
100%?
Worth the
I mean, especially because I'm not planning on selling these. So it's like for me, I just want to keep these slabbed. With my other BGS cards, I've got the Eye of Ophidia right sitting over here. So my goal is to get all of the Welcome to Wraith and Arc legendaries and fables in BGS slabs.
You're missing some expensive
I'm just missing
ones.
one. I'm missing one. The Heart.
The expensive one.
Heart of Fyendal. Yeah, that's the one I'm missing. But man, yeah, overall really happy with this submission. It probably couldn't have gone any better, I'd say.
That's fair. Well, yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. I know this is going to be a pretty long video, but hopefully it was at least entertaining. Hopefully you gained some insight into, how BGS grades these cards so that if you do have cards of your own that you do want to submit, you can at least get a good idea of what they would grade based on the corners and centering you've seen, today. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you in another video, hopefully.
See everybody later.
Take care.